Welcome to the Buddy and Friends podcast, a podcast about performers. Let's get on with the show.
Hello and welcome back to Buddy and Friends. I'm your host, Buddy Katz. If you don't know who I am, I'm a Michael Jackson and Freddie Mercury impersonator. Um, Today I have a wonderful guest. I met her during Pride in Merchantville. She is a drag performer, an amazing performer, and she's also a teacher when she's not doing drag. Welcome to the show, Maddie. How you doing, Maddie?
Hello, everyone. I'm amazing. How are you doing, buddy?
I am doing well. The last time we saw each other was at my show, Remember the Times.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it was so good. You guys did such an incredible job. Like
Thank you.
it was a production for those who didn't get the honor of seeing it. Like it was so good.
Well, thank you so much for coming. And people who didn't get to see the show, you can watch it on YouTube.
That's
Uh,
right.
you can now watch it on YouTube. Well, Maddie, what was your early introduction into performing and how it inspired you throughout your life?
Yeah, so honestly, performing and music and just like the arts has been a big part of my life, like ever since I was so little. Probably just like out in the womb, out of the womb, just throughout my entire life. But the biggest thing, like I feel like the biggest like drag queen kid story or whatever was I was obsessed with Hannah Montana growing up, obviously, as every single other drag queen is, I'm sure. And I actually created my own persona, and my persona was Samantha Mays. So I performed as Samantha Mays. My actual name was Maddie. And then I chose that name because one, I loved the name Samantha. Just for some reason, I don't know. I was 5 years old. Who knows? And then I would always see the OxyClean commercials, and for some reason, I saw him as like Billy Ray Cyrus. So I was like, wow, that could be my fictional dad. So I was just like, what's his name? Billy Mays.
Yeah,
Yes,
Billy Mays. Yep.
Billy Mays. I was Samantha Mays. So I basically, that's actually funny enough. That's exactly where I got my drag name for performing because I was thinking I was like, I need to make it, super super unique and amazing, everything that reflects me as a performer, as a person. And I couldn't, honestly, I was trying to think of every single other name. And Maddie is my name that I go by. My full name is Madeline, but I never felt like that was like me, if that makes sense. So I chose Maddie and like for my drag name. And I was like, I feel like that could be the only first name for me. And then I was like, what could be the last name? And then I was like, oh my gosh, I was Samantha Mays, so maybe I could be Maddie Mays. And then I was like, I said it, I was like, that doesn't work. So then I was like, Maddie May, that's a lot better. So then I started out performing as Maddie May, and then after a couple months, I was adopted by the wonderful Valencia Prime, and then I became Maddie May Prime. So that's how I kind of got through my drag persona. I know I literally went from 5 years old to, me being 22 when I started. So breezed by, but basically, moral of the story, I was always really into performing, art, singing, dancing, just everything. My parents will tell you because like they saw it all basically.
So, which performance inspired you besides Miley Cyrus as Hannah Montana? What are performance inspired you?
Yeah, so honestly, there's so many. Lady Gaga, Ariana Grande, Taylor Swift, like really all like the pop icons, Whitney Houston, like there's just so many that I can just rattle off. But when it comes to drag queens specifically, I love Raja, I love Shea Coulee, Aquaria, like I just loved their drag styles, their power when they like just walked on the stage. And I just when I saw my first season of Drag Race watched was season 10, and when I saw what they were doing, like how they put all these beautiful artistic elements into one art form, I was just so inspired. I was like, wow, this is literally every single thing that I love to do in one thing. Like, I want to do this. But of course, second thought that came in my brain was, am I allowed to do this? Like, would it be offensive for me as a female drag queen, as someone assigned female at birth, to do this art form since it, in my knowledge back then, like it was mostly, cis males who did it, or people assigned male at birth. So honestly, I'm a person who likes to just like research things, like including, if I have a sore throat or my leg hurts for some reason, I just search it up and like, what's happening to me? I need to know all the answers. So, I searched it up online and I saw that there were women drag queen out there slaying it, just like being amazing. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that's incredible. But then at the same time, I saw the other side of it, people, being so, just so rude to these performers just because they wanted to showcase their art and they were inspired by other drag queens, other female performers and impersonators, and just performers in general. And so that really created so much fear in me. I was like, and can I even do this? Like maybe I can, but I'm too scared to. So honestly, I just kind of kept quiet about it and just watched like season 1 through, I think, yeah, 1 through 8 of Drag Race, and then I was like watching the other season. So I was watching Drag Race all the time. This entire time I was like, my gosh, I want to do drag so bad, but I was way too scared to say anything until until COVID happened. Actually, I was like, I was just by myself in my house with my family, and I just started playing around with makeup. And I've always been like someone really um, interested in makeup and really like just creative when it comes to just like my expression when it comes to like fashion and obviously I got my hoop earrings on and makeup and all that stuff. So, I just started like playing around and watching videos about drag makeup. And I started doing drag makeup and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm actually really good at this.
Hmm.
And then I kind of made like I did a leap of faith and just kind of planned a budget Halloween costume, COVID friendly, because me and my friends were having like a 6 feet apart party together. And I was like, I'm gonna make a little drag outfit and see what they think and see what happens, see if they accept me, which of course they would. I don't know why I didn't think that they would. I don't know. It's just I mean, I'm sure like you've just heard from being in, from being around a lot of LGBTQ plus people, just the experience of coming out and being so afraid that people won't accept you. So I think that kind of ties into it as well. But basically, going back to it, I planned this drag outfit and then I showed up with all my friends and they were like, Maddie, you look amazing. You should do drag without me even saying anything. Like, oh, I'm in drag. And I was just like, I was so happy. I was like, oh my gosh, this makes me so happy. I'm so excited. I definitely want to do drag. There's like, so much to explore. But then, COVID happened. COVID was still happening and I was in college. So really, I didn't start until 2022. But I know we're probably getting ahead of ourselves. So I'll take it back to you.
Thank you so much.
Sorry.
Yeah, as I've seen it growing up, for you're the first ever drag queen, as a female drag queen I've ever seen, because I've seen a lot of Philadelphia Mafia drag queens and drag kings, but you were the first ever female that ever did it. I first ever saw did it.
I'm so honored. I didn't I think you might have told me that, but that's so nice.
Besides being a performer and a drag queen, you are also a teacher. So what
Yeah.
made you become a teacher?
Well, honestly, the other part of what I always love to do, besides performing, is teaching and helping others. Like, I always just love to be there for other people, help them, with things that I needed help with when I was, their age or in that position. And just kind of like helping them in, yeah, just helping them in different ways. So, that's honestly, I would, when I was a kid, I would just like stand in front of my stuffed animals and just like teach them about, singing or just like math or something. I don't know. And also perform in front of them. So like my favorite things, like overall, are like, you know, singing and like well performing and singing and then teaching as well. Like I love both of those things, and so it's natural that I do both of those things for a living. At least for me, I know for other people it might be a little bit different. But I always wanted to help people, and at first, it's funny because at first I wanted to, I was really inspired by a lot of my history teachers,
Hmm.
because I wanted to like teach history. And I was like, oh, this might be really fun because it's like the history of everything that's ever happened before. Like life is crazy and people, need to know that life is crazy. Because a lot of times history is just like taught as something that's just so boring. And it's like, doesn't have to be boring, people. It's crazy. Anyway, but then I realized that music and theater and art, like that's always been part of my life, and I've had so many incredible mentors that are helping me to this day as well with teaching and with performing. So I was like, this makes more sense. Like I would rather teach music, I would rather be a choral director. And I just like I just leapt right into it, honestly. Like I helped out with my middle school musical productions, my middle school choir, and I conducted a song with, like my choral director, and it was incredible. And I did this program in New Jersey. I don't know if it's like a nationwide thing. It's called Girl State, and it's basically like certain kids from each school, like they come together and they work on this they like make their own government, kind of like, which is weird
Hmm.
because I don't know. I mean, I obviously I'm like I think of myself as an activist, but I'm not a government official. So, so I thought that it was weird that I was there because, I kept on making speeches trying to go out for different, positions, wasn't getting them. But you know what I
Hmm.
was getting? Because they had a choir there, and the person in charge was like, I did choir once. I don't know what I'm doing. And I said, I know what I'm doing. I can help with this. And I ended up conducting the entire thing and like
Hmm.
making recordings and rehearsing the group. And I'm like, this is where I'm meant to be. It was actually my junior year of high school where I really had that realization that choir and being a choir director and conducting and being involved in music, like a leader in music, was in my future, and it was really cool. And then I started auditioning for different music programs, and I decided I honestly always knew I wanted to go to Rowan University, but obviously I wanted to keep an open mind just in case another opportunity came in, because a lot of times that does happen, and it's always good to kind of either take a leap of faith or just make an informed decision. And so I ended up going to Rowan and having an amazing experience. I learned so much, and now I'm teaching choir, which is just it's so amazing. Like I love every part of it because I'm always moving around, I'm always singing, I'm always making music, and I'm also helping other people have that experience of, experiencing music and, kind of like having that shape their life in a way and just kind of like make their life a little bit better because we all deserve that,
Yeah,
honestly.
definitely.
Yeah.
I love that. And mostly the music teachers, they're a great support to students who want to become performers or want to have a career in music. They're a great push and great ways to get them into that.
Yeah, and even people who don't necessarily go into music, I know so many people who are in every job that you can think of. Like even my mom, she is a designer at Lazy Boy, and she is in like a lot of the choirs in just like this area, and she loves singing. She's so talented at it, and it just brings her so much joy, and everyone deserves that, honestly. So even if these people don't end up like going into music and being like a performer or being a teacher who teaches music, it's still like super important for them to keep
Yeah,
music in their life.
definitely.
Yeah.
What is your experience as a teacher and as a drag performer? Because you do them both around, like you have to have a nice equal balance for that. So what is that experience like?
It's difficult, honestly. Because honestly, I'm in my second year of teaching, and there are days where I literally come home and I have you heard of the spoon analogy? Where it's like, it's common with neurodivergent people, which I have ADHD, so I
Yes.
experience a lot of I feel like we all do with
Yes.
performers. But basically, the spoon analogy is some days like people with let me start this way actually. So for neurotypical people, they usually have, let's just say, 10 spoons, and they're able to, go through their day, use, there's 10 spoons, then by the end of the day, you know, they're really tired and they'll go to bed, then they'll get 10 more spoons the next day, and they're able to kind of function, very like very consistently, basically. But
Yeah.
for neurodivergent people, sometimes we'll get 5 spoons, and that's all we get through the whole day. But then some days we'll get 20, and then some days there's just one.
Yeah.
So it's so hard sometimes because, like, there might be days where I am like performing, I'm teaching, I'm doing all the things. And then the next 5 days, I'm just in bed. So it's like, oh, it's so hard because as a teacher already, there's just so much that you have to do. Like, there's so much that people don't even think about. Like, for instance, I have to make sure that I'm checking my email every single day. And if there's an email about a certain student who needs an accommodation, like, I have to make sure that that student gets that accommodation. I have to remember. And because, especially, like, I had accommodations when I was in school, and I really know how important that is. And then, my lesson plan, I can't remember my lesson plan. Oh, I got to go and check about that. Oh, I got to print out this other thing. Oh, let me see if that student is, like, doing pretty well. Like, they look like they're not having a good day. Like, and then also at the same time, I have to really monitor 26 individuals at a time in a room and make sure that they're not messing around.
Yeah.
Because, middle schoolers, they'll just like, they're they're crazy, but they can be a little bit,
A
which
little
I
bit
don't
much.
mind, honestly, because they're going through a really hard time. But I love working with middle school, and I know a lot of people don't, but I love it. So it's just there's a lot that goes into being a teacher that just like it can exhaust someone very fast, and that someone can be me sometimes.
Hey, have you ever had a
Yes,
gig?
sorry.
Have you ever had a gig where you went from, oh, you're a teacher by day, but then you have a gig later on at night? Have you ever had any of those kind of moments?
Honestly, yes. And sometimes it's like this one day, it was a little bit easier because it was a professional development during the summer. For those who don't know, it's basically like a day where teachers get to learn about like just kind of do a seminar sort of thing. Sometimes it's helpful, most times it's not. But basically, we had like a professional development day, and I was supposed to leave right at 2:30 to drive to Delaware to Rehoboth Beach to get ready in like an hour and a
Mm.
half probably, and then perform at 7. And for those who don't know, Rehoboth is about 3 hours from my job. So it was crunch time basically. I made it, and it was a really great night. Honestly, one of my favorite. It was probably like my top five like drag performances, like my favorite ones that I've had. But yeah, it's a lot. But if I feel like if I'm preparing for it, if I know it's coming, it's a little bit easier. But yeah, and then a lot of times I'm doing karaoke nights Sundays, which I also sing. It's funny, I sing at a church on Sundays, but it's a very inclusive church, and they're very diverse, and they're accepting of LGBTQ plus folks, and most of their ministry is actually queer, which is great. So I love it. And yeah, so I a lot of times I sing there. I get done around like 11:30. I go home, I get in drag, and then I'm hosting karaoke by 4, and then we go until like 9. So it's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. And talking about drag, you already told me what got you in drag, but any drag queens help you along the way and what made you want to start drag?
Oh, so many, honestly. It was hard. Like, honestly, when I started, I really didn't know a lot of queens or like performers just in the area. But once I started kind of going to different shows, and getting to know different people, they really helped me a lot, which was great. I know that if I list people, I will definitely forget some, and I would feel so bad about that. But I still will list a couple. Like, I know, um, So like Aloe Vera, she was the host of Dragorama, which ran for about 8 years. And then she moved to Vegas to perform. And she was always just such an amazing mentor to me. Dominique Lee, she hosts Queen of the Hill. I think you know Dominique Lee,
I
right?
do know Dominic Lee. She
Yes.
is very amazing.
She's such an amazing friend of mine. She's also welcomed me into other karaoke events that she's involved in, or she knows of other people who need karaoke hosts. So she's just been an incredible advocate for me. Um, let's see, Cleopatra. She gave me my first stage for my first drag performance at Gayville, and honestly, like without that first performance, I don't know, it might have been a little bit different, but I owe a lot to her as well because she gave me a lot of spaces to perform. Brittany Lynn, obviously. She actually just texted me this week and asked me if I could do a drag gig today, but I was actually um I was sponsoring someone for All South Jersey Choir, and basically that's a choir that's like a regional choir in South Jersey where kids, I believe it's seventh grade through 12th grade, they all audition and they sing like really beautiful, incredible pieces, like advanced pieces for especially like middle school and high school, and they sound incredible. So it's like literally every single choir teacher in South Jersey is in that one building for auditions, you know,
Mm.
for all South Jersey choir. So I had to be there, obviously. And it was really fun. So it was great. But yeah,
And
there's been so many people along the way too. Obviously, Valencia Prime, obviously my drag sister who became like my mother mentor, Rosie Hart. She helped me a lot as well. So it's incredible. And I know I'm forgetting so many people, I'm sure, but you all have helped me so much just throughout these, oh my God, 3.5 years of me doing drag. It's incredible, honestly.
and there's a lot of people in the Philadelphia drag mafia too. There's a lot. There's like a
Yeah.
whole list of people. And some of them I do know. I have worked with them a couple of times. I think it was like Morristown, I worked with some of them. Woodbury, I worked with a couple of them. Um, Merchantville, definitely some of the events I did with them. Amazing performers. So anybody who has a chance to see them on the Philadelphia Drag Mafia, go get a chance to go see them. They're amazing. They're fantastic. Or go see them at Drag Bingo too. They do love Drag Bingo. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Um, do you have any favorite moments from doing drag?
Yes. Oh my gosh. One just immediately comes to mind. I did this drag charity event for Morgan. For those who don't know, she is a nurse who also does drag and she does all these pageants. She's so talented and she really is like, she's actually one of my mentors as well. She was one of the people who like pulled me aside after my first Queen of the Hill show and she told me, she was like, you are a star. And that just blew me away. I was like, oh my gosh, coming from you, thank you so much. It was so nice. But so Morgan was hosting this charity event for LGBTQ plus youth, like to raise money for them. And I was doing this number. I was singing live. It's a song called "Poor Wandering One" from Pirates of Penzance, and it's like those who don't know, it's this song. It's like kind of when it was during the time when opera was kind of turning. There was opera was kind of like turning into musical theater. Like it was branching out into musical theater and different types of other performance, like stage performances. And so it has like musical theater elements, opera elements. And so I borrowed this dress from Aurora Dankovich. If you guys don't know her, definitely search her up on Instagram because she is so talented. She makes everything by hand. And she is just like, she does amazing looks. Like, think like beautiful, ethereal princess, like just perfection. Like, she's amazing. So she ended up lending me one of her dresses and one of her hoop skirts. And
Hmm.
I felt so beautiful. I mean, I always feel beautiful in drag, but like it was just a different level for me at that point because I had been doing drag for a year at that point. And so I got on stage, I did my number, and it went to in the middle, it goes to this like high note where I go high. and then I go a little bit higher and then come down, do like this like arpeggio, and it's like crazy. It's a moment. So then afterwards, I got off stage, and usually at drag events, sometimes they'll allow the performers to have like a drink ticket, food ticket. So, of course, I love food, I love drinks, so I'm cashing that in. So I go up to the bar, and the person helping me, he just comes over to me and he's like, I just want to say, as someone who's neurodivergent, as someone who has autism, for me, like a lot of times the world is just, there's so much noise, and it's so hard to kind of work through all of those things, all of the noise just going in on in my brain every single day. But when you got on stage and you started singing, all of that noise just went away. And I was just in awe the entire time. You did such an incredible job up there performing. And that just struck me. I was like, wow, like I did not even realize how much of an impact I had on, on this person who's like standing in front of me, bringing me my drink basically. And it struck me even more because obviously, like I said, I have ADHD, and a lot of times I also struggle with like, being overstimulated. There's times where I've just been, teaching or performing or just, in a class where all of the sound, it's like normal levels, but it feels like I'm on a construction site or there's gunshots firing, which is crazy. It feels
Yeah.
insane. And I worked at Starbucks as well, so a lot of times that would trigger my, overstimulation, and it was insane. So to hear that coming from him, like totally unprompted, and he just like him just coming to me with, how he felt in that moment from me performing, it was just so powerful. And that was my one, I think my favorite memory from performing, because we always forget that we have such an incredible impact on people as artists, as performers, as musicians, and you never know how people in the audience are reacting in the inside, because it's just incredible. So I was just really lucky that he came up to me and told me that about my performance.
Well, is there any tips you can give any upcoming performers?
Yeah, absolutely. So overall, just don't be afraid to take risks. Like take risks, be confident, be creative in your art. The great thing about drag and the great thing about performing is you can literally do anything you want. You can make it your own. You can totally just like be crazy and just make, really like risky but also fun decisions about your craft. I know for me, I look back sometimes at some of my early performances and I'm like, what was I doing? But at the same time, I knew that I was taking a risk by, let's just say eating a block of cheese on stage and then dancing to Katy Perry. Like, would I do that again now? No. But like, am I glad that I did it then? Absolutely. Like, it was so much fun to do that on stage and just to have fun and be myself. The audience didn't know what was going on, but I did, and I was having fun. The most important thing is to have fun, to be grounded in yourself, and to share your joy, to share your love, and just make it a fun space for everyone.
Okay.
So even if it is like, something that you look back on later and be like, I was so cringe back then, at least you tried it. Because
Yes.
something I always tell my students too is I would rather you try something and make a mistake rather than not do anything at all. Because if you make a mistake, at least you learn something. But if you don't try something, then you're not going to learn the thing, basically. So, because a lot of times they're too scared to sing out, or they're too scared to try this, crazy warm up I've just come up with, or a new one that I'm sharing with them. And I tell them, I'm like, this is a safe space. We're going to do whatever we want in here. We're going to woo, woo, woo till we get that headspace.
Definitely. And I love that. Um, I got one more question for you, but
Yeah.
also, can you tell my viewers where they can find you on social media and any
Yep.
upcoming events?
So my Instagram is Maddie May Drag. You can also find me if you type in Maddie May Prime. The way that you spell my Instagram handle is Maddie, May, like the month, and then DRAG, honey. So you can find my upcoming events, through my Instagram. As of now, I do not have any events for November, but I am hoping to get some events on the books for December because December is my birthday month. I am a Sagittarius. So December 12th is my birthday. So, hopefully I will have some events for the weekend of December 12th, because I want to party it up and have some fun on my 25th birthday.
Oh, well, happy birthday from me and my whole crew.
Thank you so
Uh,
much.
it's great to be 25. I just turned 28.
Oh my gosh, happy birthday. Happy
Thank you
belated
so much.
birthday, I should
Thank you
say.
so much. October 14th was my birthday. I'm a Libra.
Yeah, Libra season. Well, now
But
wait,
yeah,
it's Scorpio season.
Scorpio
But
season. Yep.
yeah.
But my last question for you, since I'm a Michael Jackson and Freddie Mercury impersonator, do you have any favorite Queen or Michael Jackson songs?
Yeah, so I don't know if I might have told you this. I think we talked about this before, but growing up I would always dance to the Michael Jackson Experience Wii game, and it was so much fun. And my favorite songs on there were Smooth Criminal, Billie Jean, Black or White. Like I love all the classics, obviously. And honestly, I learned about a couple new songs when I went to see your show as well, which was really fun. And a lot of songs that like I've heard before, but I didn't realize they were Michael Jackson. So that was really incredible as well. And also when it comes to Queen songs, I love Bohemian Rhapsody so much. It just is so chaotic and I love every second of it. I've even looked up the chordal structure of all the different parts of the song, and it's like it's insane. It's like what is happening, because for people who don't know, usually songs are like, tonics, like 1, 4, 5, 1,
Yep.
just like do 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 do. That doesn't help. I'm hearing the other notes in my head. But basically, yeah, it's every song kind of has the same, most songs have similar chord structure basically, but Bohemian Rhapsody, there's a 7 chord into a 3 chord into like 5/diminished seventh. Like it's
Hmm.
like crazy. Those aren't the actual chords. I'm just kind of like trying to explain how crazy they were, but definitely look it up because it's really interesting.
Well, Maddie, it was such an honor to have you on their show.
It was such an honor to be here. Oh my
Thank you
gosh, thank
so
you so
much.
much, Buddy. And
And
definitely, please, everyone support Buddy. Go to all of his shows, come and support, bring those
yeah,
dollars,
definitely.
and shower him and his crew with all the ones, the fives, the tens, the 20s, the
For
50s.
real. It's like, hey, if it becomes that shot show, we'll let it. Hey, I'm not gonna judge. Like, hey, look, guys, money on the floor, pick it up, put it in your pockets, act like it never happened. But
Exactly.
but thank you so much, Maddie, for being on the show, and everybody, go support Maddie and all your wonderful performers out there. And if you're listening to the show on YouTube, um, thank you so much again, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.